20 years old. I'm from Central Islip, and I was born in the Dominican Republic and came to America when I was 3 years old.
So, what is the Dream Act to you? We all know what it means pretty literally, but to you, what does it mean?
The Dream Act means a simpler way of life. The Dream Act means that me and my family don't have to worry about watching our back for simple shit like a car accident. The Dream Act means a lot of things. It really just depends, like, who I'm talking to. I can't do a lot because I'm pretty much limited to the world around me for now. And it sucks because I can't get on a plane and go visit my family members in Dominican Republic. I can't get on a plane and go study abroad somewhere in Europe.
What do you believe is the biggest misconception of the Dream Act today? Or if there's a number of them, what do you think is just a misconception?
A misconception for the Dream Act, or just of the dreamers in general, is that we're a bunch of people who are useless and are trying to get into the system. Like, social security number, residency, citizenship. And people think that we take it for granted.
And they also think it's synonymous with Latino.
Yeah, it's like, I don't like the terms like wetback and border hopper. So like, yeah, I'm a border hopper. Are you mad about that? No, don't be mad about that. I'm here because I was brought here. It's not my fault that I was brought here. And it's not like I'm a bad person in the society. I go to school, I work, I'm good for my society, I'm good for my community. So why does that make me bad because I don't have documentation? I found out that I probably wouldn't be able to go to college. A college that I wanted to go to. Something that I wanted to do for my life. At 14 was also the time where I knew I wanted to go into fashion. What about fashion? I didn't know. I was 14 years old. Everything kind of I was very receptive to everything around me. But all I knew was that I was going to go to fashion school. At 16, while my friends were getting driver's licenses, permits, getting their first jobs, and getting ready to start the early sets of adulthood, I was kind of taking the backseat to everything because I wasn't a part of a social system. I didn't have a number that justified who I was. I was Nicolle, but that was all I could be. To the government, I was a girl who was here consuming, and that's all I was. At 17 years old, one of the best things probably could have happened. Obama passed an act called Deferred Action that made it possible for me to get a job, for me to go to school for in-state tuition. Even though I don't get financial aid, in-state tuition sounds a lot better than $13,000 out of my pocket. That would have never happened. Today, at 20 years old, I am Nicolle Polanco, an advertising and marketing student at the Fashion Institute of Technology, my first choice, and also one out of the only 2 schools that I applied to when I was a senior in high school. Today, I am Nicolle Polanco, a full-time retail manager who makes a pretty good living for a 20-year-old on Long Island. Today, I am a number, sadly, but it's more than I had 6 years ago. It's more than I had 4 years ago. Because today, I am part of a system that will probably open up doors to so many opportunities. Because an American dream is still viable. It's still possible. And that's crazy to me that you could limit someone so young. You can limit them for so many things. Like a driver's license at 16, their first car. While my friends were doing all of these great things and growing up, I had to sit down and kind of just take it all in. Kind of had to live vicariously through my best friend. And I wanted to do so much, and it's a very, very, very big lift off my shoulders when today at 20 years old, that's not me. I'm not confined to the 4 walls of immigration. I have so much more to do, so much more I can possibly do. Being a dreamer is so much more than just being an immigrant. It's literally having dreams. It's the American dream. The American dream, however you want to put it, however your definition of the American dream could possibly be, I want that. I want my dream. I've been here since the age of 3. 17 years later, I never thought this is who I would be. That I would be talking to a group of people and being able to advocate who I am. That the word immigration would come out of my mouth so many more times than I ever thought. That being illegal would hurt me. That being an alien, as the US government justifies it, would be so hurtful. Because I'd rather be called an immigrant, an illegal immigrant, instead of being called an undocumented alien. Yes, I am Dominican, and yes, I was born in La Romana. But I'm an American. I'm from Central Islip. I'm from Long Island. I bleed purple and gold. I don't bleed red and white and blue from a different country. Yes, I speak a different language, but this is home. This is who I am. And just because for a very long time in my life I wasn't a number, that doesn't make me not human. That does not make me that I'm not here. And it's just wonderful that at 20 years old, I can do so much more than I could at 14 that I never thought I could do. When your parent has to tell you that you probably won't go to college because you can't afford it, because it'll probably be out of state, that hits you hard when all you're doing is dreaming about the opportunity of planning runway shows, the opportunity to write for a magazine, the opportunity to be a part of a huge marketing firm. And at 20, but I wish I could tell 16-year-old me that it gets better. That shit falls through. That someone out there is looking out for you and looking out for all your peers who are just like you. And that's more than I could say. That's more than I can feel. And it's crazy that at 20 years old, I feel okay with who I am as an immigrant.